Hello and welcome to All Talk No Dice, the worst excuse for a D&D show you can find online. From last we left off, this band of intrepid adventurers, the Companions of Fate, found a declaration of a threat and intimidation within the Crawler's Respite. As you all began to travel past the Meridian Road, you found a large wooden structure that had several bodies of Brenton guards hanging and gently swaying in the almost non-existent breeze, their heads all severed and stuck upon posts that were set in the ground, mirroring those bodies. Bar decided to not let their memories be besmirched and left for travellers or friends to find them in this state, and together you all dismantled the structure and buried the bodies of the fallen. Soon after Gerald noticed the metal anchors that were used to keep the wooden legs firm into the sand, Bar quickly attached those to his heavy stone club. And you continued onwards, finding interesting flips and tricks to enjoy a little competition during your journey 80 miles across the desert. You soon found an unusual mound of sand sticking up from a small sand basin to the far east. Tara found a small wooden window upon this huge 45-foot tall mound, and as you inspected it, you were quick to grab at a hostile goblin before launching it to the ground in Raylof's incoming swing. Both Gerald and Tara made their way in through the window, and as you did, you found a ramshackle wooden cocoon underneath the sand, with rickety scaffolding of a spiral walkway that led further beyond the ground level. Bar quickly made his entrance as he clambered into and through the entire wall, tearing part of the cocoon down to nothing. And after a small 20-foot fall from the ogre, you all grouped up upon the now hard stone floor and began to follow Gerald as he led you down a spiraling stone walkway. Yet this space quickly became smaller and smaller, causing Bar to have to crawl on his belly and Rayloff to duck down slightly. Just as you all began to see a slight flicker of firelight and the gentle goblin chatters attempting to hush to a dull silence, Bar popped his torso out into this expansive chamber, only to be pelted by bolt after bolt as the ambush began. And as tears welled in his eyes and his large lower lip began to quiver, he let out a large roar and huffed as he grabbed his anchor-lined club, pushed out of the opening and leaped into the air. Now, as Bar is hurling through the air and falling from 40 feet high, Tara hurls an arcane enhancement his way, and this large form hurls down like a meteor. His shape cracks and stretches, slamming heavily into the ground and shaking the entire chamber as you see Bar, now doubled in size, standing like a titan above the enemies below. He screams as he hurls his club towards the two goblins scuttling in front of him, as you all feel your hearts begin to race and adrenaline begins to flow within this hidden chamber of Mogrush the Defiler. This is where we pick it up. I want all of you to roll initiative.
Including me, or?
No.
Not
now, anyway.
I don't know if that's good or not.
Can I roll anyway, just see where I go?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, natural 20.
Nice.
Not even jokes.
Cool.
Alright. So. And then let's get Bar's initiative. Oh, fuck, that dropped.
Is there a map tool that we can see, or is there any visual aid that we can see?
No.
Yeah. Let me swap you over.
Thank you, my good sir.
And you can place yourselves wherever you
Oh!
deem necessary.
Where did we
where-
come from?
You came from this top corner up to the top left here.
Ah, yeah, okay. So, because if I remember right, I was behind Ball.
Yeah,
Bar.
Daryl, you were.
No
Bar.
L on that. Bar.
Why do I keep
Wrong
thinking it's
campaign.
Ball? Oh yeah.
Alright, so you see Bar. And he hurls his stone pillar club with the anchors. You hear the chains get taut as it swings wide, and it does collide with the two small goblins in front. And because he attached the anchors, that is upgraded to a d12 on the damage die.
And he also has advantage on strength checks and
+2 to
strength saving throws, and he gains a d4 to any extra damage. He gains a d4 extra damage.
Okay, well, the first attack did 5 plus 7 points of bludgeoning damage to the first goblin,
Okay.
and the second got a max damage roll with 12, so that is 14, and then 16 points of bludgeoning damage as the first goblin is slightly knocked against the club, and then Bar just rears it around his head with the anchors. You just hear as he hurls it back, and just like almost like golf club, like just get the driver out and just knock, and you see the goblin as the large club and the anchors collide. You see the goblin, and you hear just a few of the ribs just collapse in on themselves as he gets hit, and that goblin is pushed slightly back as the force of Bard and the anchors just push him slightly away. So that is starting off our combat. So I want initiative rolls. Let's see for all right, 25 to 20.
23.
Oh, okay, hold on. Okay, what was it?
23. I rolled a natural 20.
Nice. And Terra,
Non-natural 20.
what's your dex mod?
What?
My dex mod is +2.
Okay.
Suppose I'll finish this off with a 3.
Okay, so you got 3. Okay.
Save you going
Yeah,
down the list.
By the way, I would have got 25 if it
Okay.
was in the
Right.
battle.
Good to know.
Sure.
Nice. I rolled a nat 1. I did the opposite.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
How high are these platforms compared to where we are? So where these snipers are, how high is
Yeah.
that?
So you're on the. It's basically on the same level.
Oh, it's on the same level. Okay.
Yeah. So
wasn't quite sure.
these walkways, they don't raise anymore, but they don't lower either.
Yeah. Right. So say if I wanted to go that way,
Yeah.
that would be fine. That would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There would be
absolutely,
no
yeah.
elevation.
No elevation, no issue, and
same
or
again
no
if I
reduction in
wanted to
movement.
go-
Yeah.
Same if I wanted to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Completely on the
'Cause
same
I wasn't
level.
sure if that was like a bit of rubble separating this. The
No,
raised
it's just how the landscape is, but there's no elevation or any decline.
What is the actual elevation of
So
this?
the
like,
elevation
this
right now, that you quickly estimate, you are roughly about 50 feet up, looking down upon the small,
So
or
it'll
the
take
fairly
some
large
time to
camp.
get down the stairs,
There's
basically, is
some
what you're saying.
steep ass stairs.
Yeah. But you are 50 feet up on these
Right.
walkways, and down below, you still hear the rushing water. Just you look over and you do see a small waterfall that is collecting into a lake. But to start the initiative, Rayloff, you are up. What would you
Yeah.
like to do?
So it's 50 feet up. So, by that calculation, just what, about 10 feet to get
And
there.
Tara, you're on deck.
Yeah, no problem.
So, how far? Because it's a bit awkward to try and guess it. How far would you guess from where I? So it's 10 feet to the top of the stairs, let's say.
Yeah.
How far? How much distance would I need to travel to get to the bottom of the stairs?
I'd say 15 feet.
15.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
1-5.
Fair enough.
Because you're not traveling.
No, you're not
All the
traveling
distance,
straight.
you're just-
Yeah.
You're stepping, aren't you?
Okay, so 15 to get down there, 10 to get there, so that's 25. Cool, so with 35 to get down to the bottom, then.
Mm-hmm.
So that leaves me with 5 movement. How far have we got here? 30. Oh, damn. Okay.
Then you have the dancing sword.
I do, but I want to rage first, really.
Yeah.
So I'll use bonus action to rage.
Okay.
First of all.
All of you begin to see Rayloff begin to just huff, and all the ice just begin to and just stack up along his shoulders and traps and all over in this shimmering, freezing cold Sub-Zero armor.
Right. And then, for the sake of using an attack, is this blocking vision? This little hut?
Yes.
Right. That's not a problem. So how much range has the javelin got? It's 30 and 120 maximum. Okay. So in that case then, still need to go to there. That's not an issue. So I'll move 5 feet with the last of my 5 feet, and I will throw a javelin at this close one here.
Okay.
That is just within my normal throwing distance for it.
All right. Which one are you launching it again? Sorry.
This close one here.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Yeah. 20.
Nice. Nice. Yeah. Definitely hits. So roll for damage and double the dice rolled.
Yep. I get what is it? 2 extra damage for rage. Plus 2. Oh, that's a question. It says it's a throwing weapon, but
Yeah.
does it still count as melee damage for the sake of rage bonus damage?
I'll say for now, add your rage damage onto this, since it's an attack
Okay.
while you're raging, and we can go over it at the break and see what what it says in the book. But yeah, just make sure you just double the dice rolled and not the modifiers on top.
Yeah. So could have been better. So that's 4 plus 4, 8, 10 piercing damage. Wasn't
Nice.
the best rolls. I rolled a 2.
You see Rayloff and just like lean back to his bag, and as he does, he just pulls out this javelin in one motion, just launches it, and it just jettisons through the air, just piercing and puncturing straight through the small goblin form, and it begins choking and just like kind of just comes to grips with it and just pulls it out of itself, leaving it to clatter on the ground and just snarling at you, Rayloff.
And I don't know if it's like just for the sake of setting up for next turn, I have a hand axe and the scimitar equipped on my other hand.
Awesome. Okay, no problem. As you look to your sides and you pull out the hand axe and the scimitar at the same time, just getting ready for the next round. Tara, you are up. What would you like to do?
Awesome. I'm going to look towards the left and see this thing over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to clip my heels together and start running in a slight incline, using my wing boots.
Yep.
And I'm going to start flying 30 foot in to here. So I'm still at the same height, just
Flying.
out, yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much. Yeah,
that's okay,
I don't know
yeah.
why that took me a long time to plot it. And then I'm going to use my thorn whip at it
Okay.
and try to pull it off the cliff side.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Roll for that attack. As you see Tara click her heels and almost like pretty much like Fantastic Four, and just launch forward, and begins like I wouldn't say hurling, but definitely at a rapid pace, flying through the air, stopping, and you cast Thorn Whip.
I rolled for 18.
18 does hit.
Amazing.
So roll for damage.
Yeah. 2d6 is now with the level up. First one's a 5, 2, 7, 7 damage, and it's
Nice.
pulled 10 foot
Okay,
closer to me.
so
Oh dear.
how many? 5 feet?
10
10.
foot.
Okay, so it's going to be here, but it's going to drop down. So what I'll say is, for each 10 foot of damage is a d6.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
10,
that's
10
what,
feet of falling.
5d6.
Yeah. So it took the 7. As you
Took 7 already.
as you whip it round and
Yeah.
you kind of catch its arms with a crossbow, and you just launch it towards you.
Come here.
Get over here. Oh fuck. Okay, so 6, 12, 14, and then 2 more. 14, 19, 21. So that was 21 points of falling damage onto your
Nice.
7
7. So 28 damage.
as you launch it, and you just see it and it just drops, and you just hear like a very faint before, and it slams firmly hard into the stone, just like a thud of a sack of potatoes. And as it does, you just hear multiple bones crack as it just into the hard stone. You just see its head after as it's collapsed on prone on the ground, and it just reaches around for its crossbow, trying to just aim it at you slightly, while you just see some open fractures as his shoulder is just popped and pierced through the skin. All of the elbow is just partly broken the wrong way, and its legs are completely jacked up. He's pretty much on death's door.
I'm gonna look down towards where his body has fallen and say, "No one makes Ball cry." And then that's end my turn. That's all. I
Yeah,
can do right now.
amen.
All right, it is Bar's turn.
You tell him, sister.
Bar is going to... Yeah, he's going to make 2 attacks against this small goblin, just to his right.
Okay, fucked that individual one.
First one hits. Second one hits as well. So it is a d12. That's 6 with a d4. That's 6, 8. 11 points of bludgeoning damage for the first attack. 1, 3, 5 points on the other. You all see Bar as he rears that club and the anchor's back. The anchors just drag against the stone below him. And he just hurls it above him and slams down, and it quakes the chamber slightly as you see the stonework below just give way and break under the immense power as he slams down, and he brings it up, and all you see underneath, part of the goblin still attached to the club and the rest just latched in and locked into the ground as he just screams, "I don't like this!" And he just slams it down, and that goblin is lifeless, squished, and absolutely decimated underneath this heavy stone pillar. At this point as well, Bart is going to use his bonus action, and at this point he slams 1 foot steady into the ground as the chamber just shakes slightly, and he just lets out a large roar, and all of these 3 from around here, as he uses his intimidating presence, they have to roll a wisdom save. Okay, so one of them succeeds. So these 2 over here, those 2 goblins, are now frightened of Bar. Yeah, the other one who's standing right in front of him, and he just holds out like a small spear and just stares at him.
Coward.
It is now Mogrush's turn.
My God.
Let's see.
Well, then Mogrush.
Mogrush, you just hear him.
Is that all you've got?
And he's going to just sprint towards Bar.
Okay.
And as he does, he's going to sprint up to Bar. And even though you see, like, Mogrush, you see this light green orc with two large tusks coming up and curling, almost touching his own eyes. Dark green hair that is just puffed out, matted and greasy all to the side. You see like old bits of blood just dried in there and clumping up the hair as well. You see him wearing a full, just ramshackle breastplate with two hand axes on his sides. Yet as he gets to Bar, you see him reach behind him, grabbing onto a handle, and you see him pull out this fairly chunky short sword, and you see the blade is slightly curved against this ivory handle, and right at the end it hooks back on itself like a fish hook.
Nice.
And he's going to make a multi-attack against a Bar. It's 3 attacks. One was a natural 1. One is 18 to hit, which does hit. And the other is a 15 to hit, which just barely hits Bar. So, let's have a look. Alright, so the first attack does 9 points of slashing damage to Bar. The as he carves in to the heavy leg. The other one, as he goes to strike again, he just you see Bar, like it smashes into his leg, but just at the wrong angle as Bar kind of moves his shin a little bit forward. And then Mogrush comes back and just goes to thrust into the meaty calf. That's 18 points of slashing damage on that second one. And you...
Swallow curse?
Yeah. You look to Bar, and as Mogrush finishes this set of attacks, you see Bar and just catch himself slightly before, as you see the blood beginning to pour out of his leg. And it's not that the cuts are large, but you notice, just with your passive perception, you notice Mogrush has made cuts in very specific places in this large leg. Not to just do a flurry to open up as much skin, but just to cut in certain places, albeit them small compared to Bar's size currently.
Yeah,
they're almost like debilitating as you see one leg just buckle slightly before he and he just like regains composure. Mogrush is also going to make a bonus action offhand attack as he quickly grabs one of the hand axes and just tries to slice Bar. That is not going to hit with a 10. As you see the axe go forward and Bar looks down, and as he's like concerned with his legs, stop! And he just almost knees Mogrush in the torso as his hand.
Come on!
it is now the goblins' turns. So, all 3 goblins with crossbows, so these two, and this guy over here, yeah, they are going to, the 2 top ones are going to make attacks against you, Rayloff.
Okay.
They're going to make 2 attacks against you each. And the one on the ground that is barely holding on is going to make 2 attacks against you, Tara. So the first 2 against you, Rayloff.
Yep.
Fuck. The first one is a non-natural 20, and the second is a 17 to hit.
They both hit.
Alright, let me roll those. You take, on the first one, you take 4 points of piercing damage.
They're reduced to 2.
Yeah, and on the second, you take 3 points of piercing damage, which is reduced to 1. The second 2 attacks from those, the 2 top ones, one's a natural 1, does not fucking go anywhere, and the other one is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, fuck. And you take 1 point of piercing damage. The goblin on the ground is going to make 2 attacks against you, Tara. As you look down to it after witnessing Mogrush's onslaught onto Bar, you look down and then you hear the distant, like, gargling and it makes 2 attacks. The first one is a 6 to hit, which does not, and the second is a natural 20.
Yeah, very much sadly does.
Which you're going to take. Nice. You take 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
As it just... and you see the crossbow just almost pushing into its chest that is partly caved in anyway, and you see some discomfort as it... and it hits you. So roll concentration check for me as well, please.
Literally what I'm doing.
So either half the damage or 10 or over, whichever is higher.
I rolled a 13.
Yeah, so you maintain concentration on the enlarged spell for Bar. You do feel like it kind of nearly kick you before you push past and push the arcane towards kind of trying to phase it out. Let's see, this, the one goblin on the ground is going to rush round to you, Rayloff. And these other 2 are going to sprint up to Bar.
Weren't they frightened?
Oh shit, actually, yeah. Ignore me. Okay. They're both going to throw javelins at disadvantage. So, because, yeah, frightened disadvantage on the attacks. So, so for Rayloff, the goblin comes up to you with a small short sword, and it just kind of clatters to you, almost in a frenzy, as you hear all the commotion around you, and it just is going to make 2 slashes against you. One is a 4, and one is a non-natural 20.
Yeah, it's.
So that is 7 points of slashing damage, reduced to 3 points of slashing damage for you on the as the first attack goes through, and then the second one you kind of pose and just reposition as you just just knock off the sword. Then the 2 javelins to Bar with disadvantage. So the first one with disadvantage is a non-natural 19. I got an 18 and a natural 20. And the second one is a 5 with disadvantage. So the first one at 18 for the javelin. 4 points of piercing damage as you see the 2 goblins. One launches his and it almost just goes just into the ground.
Nice.
And just strays off on the stonework, and the other and it just launches it forward, and you see straight into one of the kneecaps, just pops into Bar's knee as he just begins looking round, club at his that is the goblins' turns. So Gerald, bringing up the rear
Woohoo.
with Rayloff on deck. Gerald, what would you like to do?
Gerald is going to move. Yeah, he'll move a little bit to position himself in that on the bridge, and then he is going to essentially just keep doing cartwheels along this bridge all the way to about here. And then as he gets across, as he's going to be casting mass healing word, going, I will heal your legs, you just smash the heads, and I will now target Bar, because it can target up to 6 times. We'll give Rayloff 1, we'll give Tara 2, and we'll give Bar the other 3.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you roll for that.
So Rayloff gets 7 HP.
Exactly. You've literally put me back up to 4.
Hey, see, this is I chose it specifically, not without realizing. 2 for Tara puts you at 16 points of healing.
Sexy. Thank you very much.
And Bar then gets 20 points of healing.
20 points. Thank you.
And then from that, he will then point at what's it called? Mogrush, forgot his name almost for a second there, and is just going to cast Dissonant Whispers. Oh wait, I can't cast a spell, can I, when I do that?
No,
Because
you've
I've already cast a
one
spell.
Yeah.
Let me take that back. We shall instead cast Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
Because I can cast a cantrip. That's fine.
Alright. And it's a wisdom.
It is a wisdom. Fuck, I had what I was going to say to them. Oh. No. I was just going to say, what's a tiny fish hook? Does something else match it? And I was...
Well, he rolled a 10.
And he fails the wisdom saving throw for that. Yes.
You feel your words really cut into him as you do just point out he's compensating for something.
And he takes max damage. He takes 8 psychic damage.
Nice.
Juicy.
How much is that?
He gets disadvantage on any attack.
On his next attack, it makes before the next attack roll he makes. As it says.
Alright, let's have a look.
Good.
So that was 8.
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay. So you feel as he's finished those attacks, and he's looking like a Bar, almost how a normal warrior would like hold their sword at the ready. You see Mogrush is just like, you know, like the boxers always bring their hands down. He is just bare chest forward, just waiting to see what happens. As you cast Vicious Mockery and you feel your words pierce into him, you just see him and just look up to you, Gerald. Alright. Awesome. Rayloff. You are up. What would you like to do? With Terra on deck.
I can go past to... Actually, that's a question. If I was to go here...
Yeah.
That wouldn't be count as 5 meter range to Ball, would it? Just behind Bar, sorry, not Ball.
Yeah, you would be in 5 foot range.
Oh, would?
Yeah.
Gorgeous, right? Yeah, well, that's where I'm going to move that.
Opportunity.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go behind there.
Blanking.
They would get the opportunity for the goblin if he wants.
Yeah, absolutely. 15 to hit with a short sword.
Yours doesn't hit.
Just as you just hear, and he just like launches his sword down, meeting nothing, just air.
There you go.
As you.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah. So I'll go behind damage today.
Mogrush.
Mogrush, yeah. I was gonna say cruel, but it's not cruel. It's the Mogrush.
The opposite.
So first of all, as a bonus action, I'm going to, as I'm running past, I'm going to shout out Skewer. Yeah, I'll go with the Draconic. Actually, no, I'll just say Skewer. Let's not complicate it. And I'll throw the scimitar forwards towards these two goblins.
Okay.
So sort of going to be there. Can I just sort of do a
Alright.
circle?
Yeah, as you scream that out, and you just almost hurl the scimitar out into the air, you see it as it...
Yeah. And I'll command it to attack this one here.
Okay, as it...
The,
It's going to make an attack, so roll for an attack with that for me.
it's just a standard attack, isn't it, with the rolls? So just a
Yes.
standard attack with the scimitar.
Yeah.
25.
Nice, well that does hit. Roll for damage.
And you said get the rage bonus.
No, that's not for a magical item. That's only for your own items that, like, say, weapons
it
that
wasn't
if
that,
you
was
were
it?
to
Sorry,
throw
it was the it's the strength modifier. I
Yeah,
still
the strength
think, not
mod.
the-
Yeah. Or, yeah, I think so. I think we rolled it with a strength mod on.
I needed it for that one. Jesus, 7 slashing. I rolled a 1.
That's right. You see the scimitar as it levels out, and it just, as you, like, in your mind, you command it to attack. You just see the scimitar almost like a flash, just and just launch it, like, soars down, just cutting across the chest of this goblin. And you just see blood begin to just pour out.
And then I will make 2 attacks with my hand axe to Mogrush.
Okay,
Which
that
I
is
think will
with,
be flanking.
I would say, yeah, just flanking because of Bar's immense size. So yes, advantage on those 2 attacks.
Cool. So that's with my hand axe. Natural 20 on the first one.
Nice.
14 on the second.
14 doesn't
Not
hit,
well.
but the first one definitely does. So roll for damage.
Again, could have been better. Well, it's average. So that's 6 plus 4, so 10. 12 slashing damage.
12 slashing damage. Okay. Fantastic. At this moment, Raylov,
Yep.
as you attack down, you saw originally, and Gerald, you saw Mogrush's eyes just, even though Bar's in front and Raylov began to run round him, you just see Mogrush's eyes, like small, just pinpricks of eyes, staring up to you. His body
Is gonna be smiling down at him.
his body locked towards Bar and in between Raylov now, but just turned his head, just staring directly at you, and you feel this gaze just fixed on you until you just see the hand axe be planted into his back by Raylov. And as he does, Raylov, you just see his neck, just like some of the veins just begin to pulse, and you see a very small essence of energy just pulse from the sword that he's wielding, and you see dark red begin to just leave the handle and drip down the blade as the veins in his neck also begin to just fill with this deep dark red as his neck
You!
and he just turns to you, Raylov, and he is going to spend 2 legendary actions to use Vengeful Enforcement, which is going to be 2 multi-attacks of 3 attacks.
Okay.
Point out
So
next to
6
his
attacks in
name.
total.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
Oh, legendary actions.
so the first one is a 6 to hit.
Nope.
Second is a 12.
Nope.
Third is a 16.
Just hits.
Alright, fourth.
Oh, it's one of those disadvantage as well because of the vicious mockery.
Okay.
It would have been that first one.
Alright, yeah, the first one. The fourth hit, 17 to hit.
Hits.
So that's 2 hits. And we're on the 5th attack now.
Yeah.
Another 16 to hit.
Yep.
And 23 to hit.
Yeah.
So that's four hits and 2 misses, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's have a look. So, first hit.
Yep.
That's 11 points of slashing damage.
So, is that halved already?
No. So I'll give you all the total, and it'll all be halved. So that's the first one is 5. Second hit is 19 points of slashing damage.
Are you just giving it whole?
I'm giving it a whole right now, yeah, and then
that's
you just
fine.
halve them as
I
say
thought
them.
you halved it for a second.
No. The third is 10 slashing damage.
5.
And the fourth that hits is 16 slashing damage.
Just 8. Owie.
As you see Mogrush just in a flurry, and all of you see as his neck twitches and he turns around and you see like the sword rail off in the moment. You don't see his arm tense before it goes. You see the sword almost pull his arm for the first attack, and then he continues in that same vein and he just begins to just throw attacks left and right and thrust and pull away, trying to get that hook dug into you. And as he just tears the sword out, you feel part of your flesh broken, and he pulls out the sword, and he just lets it, and he just holds it up, and you see the blood of your blood just drip down and almost just be sucked into the handle before it puts it back down, and some other bright crimson begins to leak out of the sword again.
Do it again.
And he's just deadlocked staring at you, Rayloff. Tara, you are up next, unless
Yes.
Rayloff, you have anything else you want to do with movement or of the like.
No, I can't do anything else.
Alright, Tara, you're up.
How tall is this building?
Say only about 8 feet. Maybe not even that.
That's fine. Cool. And how high am I? How high was this?
50.
From 50. Okay, no worries. I'm going to run what I can to get my distance and finish off that last goblin with a
Okay.
full whip attack.
Alright, go for it.
Nothing crazy special, but just to get into range. 26.
That does hit.
For laughs and giggles, I'm going to throw him up 10 foot in the air.
Is this for the one that you pulled off
I've
originally?
already thrown off the
Okay.
edge, yeah. So it was 7 damage.
Yeah,
Well,
as
I'll be in the air,
you
so it'll
as you
pull him up to
Yeah,
throw
as-
him back down.
in this moment, you almost casually, but as your heart's beginning to, you just look down, thinking, take the enemy out as you, and the thorn whip just wraps around, under one armpit and around his neck,
Yeah.
and you just almost just like toss up and slam down with a thorn whip as you just hear, and just silence as that goblin splats onto the ground, broken bones and blood pouring out.
Lovely. I'm going to point my quarterstaff at this goblin
Mm-hmm.
and shout, "I'm coming for you next!"
You
And
just
then
you just see his eyes turn, and he begins to raise his crossbow.
And I will take that as that's all I can do.
That's awesome.
For now.
Okay. Bar is going to, Bar's going to make 2 attacks against Mogrush. with advantage because you're flanking with Rayloff. First one is a 23 to hit, and the second is a 15, which does not hit. So the first one, fuck me, I'm throwing dice everywhere tonight. The first one is 8 points of bludgeoning damage with the 4 enlarge. Nice, max 4. What did I say?
Juicy.
You said 8.
8, okay.
Max
8.
damage,
So,
I
yeah,
heard.
max, yeah, so 12 points of bludgeoning damage to Mogrush. Okay. Alright. As a bar, you just see... I don't like you! And he just swirls his club around. The first one just knocking Mogrush, and you see Mogrush nearly knocked off his feet in the first as Bar comes down back and slams down. You see Mogrush almost a flash of speed as he just dodges to the side as the pillar hits nothing but stone. That is all Bar's going to do for now. It is Mogrush's turn again. Let's have a look. Alright. So, Mogrush is going to make a multi-attack against Bar. As you see Rayloff, as he's deadlocked with you. And he takes this hit and nearly knocks off his feet. You see the blood begin to drip down the blade even more, and the veins begin to just pulse and fill with this bright crimson on his left side as his head snaps to Bar. And he's going to make a multi-attack against him with 3 strikes.
Okay, so I'm going to use my reaction to hit him with the sentinel then.
Okay, so that's going to be the end of the multi-attack, or it's the...
End of the multi-attack,
Okay, yeah. So the first 2, fuck me, one is a 25 to hit, and the other is a 18 to hit. And the third, 14, which just
Bar.
barely misses Bar. So the first 2... where is it? There it is. So the first 2. The first one is 7 slashing damage, and the second is a 16 slashing damage. So what was that? 9 and 16, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
I had 1 and 1, but hey ho. Say 9 and 16.
Alright, you see Bar is looking pretty hurt right now as Mogrush just continues this onslaught, and you just hear the and he just chops in and down across blood vessels and the backs of his knees, and you see Bar and you hear the heavy stone pillar slam down next to his side to keep him up as he's struggling right now. Rayloff, your sentinel attack.
I'm going to use my inspiration to re-roll that.
Okay.
It's still not enough. It's 14 to hit.
It
It's not
doesn't,
enough,
it
is it?
doesn't hit. No. As in that moment, Mogrush is going to use
Wait. Sorry, I've just thought I get advantage, don't I, 'cause I'm flanking.
Yes.
I get an extra roll. I would hit, it would be 16 I rolled. 23, sorry, total.
23 total. That does hit. So
I completely forgot
no.
about the advantage.
hey, don't worry about it. Roll for damage, dude.
I'll still use the inspiration,
Okay.
but that's fine.
Yeah. Awesome.
Because I should have used the thingy first. So he can't move. Because his movement speed set to 0
Yeah.
because of the sentinel.
Okay.
So he can't move away. And that is... Oh my damage. Yeah. 12 slashing damage.
How many?
12.
12.
slashing damage.
Nice.
Rolled max damage.
I love it. Okay.
Good old flanker dank.
As you see Mogrush just in this moment, as you think his onslaught's over, and he just takes a breath before you and slam your blade into his back. You see the blood drip down, pulse in the side, in the right side of his neck as he.
Okay, let's do this. Ah!
And he's just launched forward, and he's going to spend 2 legendary actions to make a vengeful enforcement. So 2 multi attacks on you, Rayloff. So first 2. Oh, okay. Hold on, I'm taking a picture of this. Holy fuck.
Rolled 2 nat 20s.
2 nat 20s.
Oh, okay.
So the first 2 are crits. The third is a 9 to hit.
No.
The other 2, one is a 23, and the other is another 9. So
Okay.
that's 2 crits.
2
2 misses, 2
2
normals.
misses.
Yeah, okay. And then, so I'm losing count. I think
That
I've
was
got,
6.
You got one more. Yeah.
I thought,
Thought you just did 2 hits,
you'd
2
miss
crits.
3
and
and
2
hit 3. 2 are crits and 1's a normal hit.
okay, and I think, yeah, I've got 1 more attack to roll for, correct? Because it's 3 attacks per multi-attack.
Yeah, because you missed 2, you hit 1, and you crit 2. So yeah, 1 more roll.
Okay. That is a 12 to hit.
That misses then.
Okay, so for the
3
first...
hits, 2 of them being crits.
Yeah, 3 hits. Okay, so I'll do the first non-crit,
Okay.
which is 15 points of slashing damage.
7 halves, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
The 2 crits. First one. That's 18 rolled. 32.
These.
35 points
Okay.
of slashing damage. I think 18 doubled. No, sorry, what's 18 doubled?
36.
18,
Thir-
36.
36, okay, 36. 39 points of slashing damage on that first crit.
okay.
Halved.
18.
39. Halved. So 15.
Yeah, no, it's 18 because that's roll. You got to round down with the 0.5,
Yeah, yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, it would be 18
18,
actually. Yeah.
18.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so 18 points.
Oh,
And
wait,
then,
no, 19.
that, yeah, that's,
Alright.
that's what I was thinking
Because
because it's
it's the
39.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because then the 2 nines is 8.
yeah.
Yep.
And then the second.
I'm an idiot.
The second crit. That is 16, 32, 35. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, 35 points of slashing damage. Halved.
Oh, use my reaction, can I?
17
Because
for
that.
that.
You've
I
You
would-
used it for 7.
used, yeah,
How much was it?
35, but that's halved to
Well, I can tell you now I'm down.
Ooh.
17 damage.
17.
Yeah, I'm down.
Alright. As Mogrush just snaps and turns to this onslaught, and you see the sword and the blood just kind of growing and just mingling in the blood of Rayloff as Mogrush is just pummeling down, and as Rayloff begins to fall, you see Mogrush's final attack just and just slice across, and you see Rayloff's chest just almost burst open as Rayloff hits the ground. You see then some of Rayloff's blood just begins to gather on his chest and just almost leap and travel onto that fish hook end of the blade as the blade sucks it all the way up to the handle before it disappears, and all of the blood on the sword disappears. And you see Mogrush's veins go back to the pale, bright green skin tone. He's going to use his bonus action to spend his final legendary action to do Call of the Herd. You see as he looks around.
What are you waiting for? Get them!
And you see all of the goblins kind of... and you see all of them kind of just... Their eyes just go narrow, and they just almost go into some kind of frenzy and a little bit bolstered in their posture. As the goblins go... the goblin next to Mogrush looks up to Bar and then looks down towards you, Rayloff. And you just, as you're in and out of consciousness, you see this goblin just look down to you. And he's going to make an attack against you.
The one.
Just the one, yeah.
Yeah.
With advantage because you're prone, that is a non-natural 20 to hit.
Yeah.
So that is, because it's a melee attack, that's automatically 2 death fails for you. The other 2 goblins at the back, over here, one is going to, let's have a look. Yeah, one of these goblins are going to use their dash action and begin to scale the side here. As you see, the one goblin and just begins sprinting up. The other goblin is going to go past. Also, Rayloff, just that I saw the little marker. Your scimitar, as you drop, you see it just...
I was going to ask what's happening to that, yeah.
As it, I'll leave the marker there. That's where it's laying for now. And this goblin's just going to skirt around there using its dash action. Yeah, this one goblin is going to launch a javelin towards you, Tara.
Okay.
With advantage because Call of the Herd. Doesn't fucking matter. It's a 6. So the javelin just, and you just glide as it soars past you and like just latches into the rock. This goblin is going to shoot a 2 bolts towards you, Gerald, with advantage. So the first one is 13 to hit.
Misses.
And
oh no, hits.
And the second one is a 14 to hit.
That hits as well.
Okay. For that you take... Fuck me. You take in total... you take 3...
91 points of damage.
Yeah. You take... first one you take 3 points of piercing damage, and the second one you take is 5 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
The goblin up here is going to launch 2 bolts towards you, Tara.
Yeah.
Let me just double check something. Just barely with advantage. So, the first one is a non-natural 20. And the second is a natural 20.
Okay.
So, the first attack gets you, 2 points of piercing damage. And the crit... nice. 13 points of piercing damage.
Okay, and I'll roll for concentration.
Yes.
Non-natural 20 for the first one.
Nice.
For the first hit you hit me with. And the second one was a 17. So I'm still.
Yes, you're still maintaining it. Awesome.
Okay.
All right, that is the goblins' turns. Gerald, just as you're about to act, you got hit by how many bolts?
2.
And Terry, you got hit by 2.
Also 2, yeah.
All of you, just as Gerald, as you're about to react to the goblin, like scurrying up and scurrying up the stonework, and the other one aiming towards you from the walkway. As you see, Bar is slowly diminishing as you just, with each heartbeat and each in your ears. As you're about to act, you just feel yourself and you feel your form just locked in place and being pushed slightly back, and you feel the pain again of the 2 bolts as they just slot out of you. And in this moment you look down as the wounds begin to just close up. Terror, the 2 bolts, one latched in your chest and the other in your abdomen. The searing pain comes back as you feel your form caught for breath and unable to move or think, as your 2 bolts just are pulled out, and just behind you you see a javelin traveling backwards as the bolts and the javelins all launch back to their senders. And just next to you, Gerald, a small orb of lightning appears, and as it expands and flickers out, landing on 2 feet, you see Theron. As Theron, you are pulled from the ship you were previously on in a blink of an eye, and you find yourself instantly pulled through the astral sea and hurled down into the prime material plane again, as your feet touch the ground and you see the chaos ahead as you land next to Gerald. For both of you, Tyra and Gerald, I want you to take away the damage you just received from the bolts.
Sounds. I will happily say yes, please, to that.
Theron, if you would like to place your counter next to Gerald up here.
Yeah, give me a
And
sec.
get yourself into the battlefield.
Indeed. Where's my counter?
Question.
Yes.
Is this just reversed what just happened? Does that mean that Rayloff didn't get hit?
Only reversed a portion of what happened.
Does that mean that
Where's
that
Jack?
part-
when he was down?
Do you know that
Where-
part where it says characters? I'm on the left. Just
Yeah,
drag
yeah.
the thing
Oh,
over
is
to that.
this you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Nice.
Rayloff, in this moment, you don't see any movement from anyone for a second. And in your consciousness, as you are brought closer to the light and closer to death, your breath slightly breathes in easier as you are back to 0 fails and 0 successes.
And as this happens, I'm just like, hey guys, did you miss me?
Alright. With that, Theron.
Roll initiative.
Well, I've already got you now here at this point. So before Gerald acts, Theron, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, I didn't know it was coming into the battle, but here we go. Have I got all the spells back from arrest and
Yes.
blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah? Okay then. Let me have a look at the battle
Fucking
map.
nuts.
Oh yeah. Because I haven't even played for ages, so
I know.
yeah, I am. I'm just going waste all my spells stuff. It's who is this? The big guy, the bad guy?
Yeah, this is Mogrush. in the centre. There.
How many feet away is that?
A lot.
From you,
45.
45.
45. Okay, let's have a goosey gander. See what I have.
I was going to say, if you have a look on roll 20, if you go onto the one that looks like a bit of a ruler, and then if you press on like snap to center or snap to corner, whatever, then press U and you can see it'll make like a line then. So you can see how far stuff can go. And
What I will do is... Ooh, who's around that guy?
Which guy?
Who's that? Is that Rayloff?
So Ray,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
this
on
is
the ground.
Rayloff. He is unconscious currently. This is
And
one
what's
of the
that?
goblins. And Bar is obviously the huge ogre you see, enlarged and doubled.
Okay. I won't use that just yet then. Okay. I shall, of course, use Chromatic Orb level 3
Okay.
on Mogrush.
All right. So is it roll to hit or is it a save?
Yeah. I'll roll.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I'll use an actual.
Or you choose what damage as well.
Oh, fuck it. Fire.
Fire it is. Wizard answer. Fire.
17 plus 7.
17 plus 7 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Yes, I will. 5d8.
small amount.
14.
14. Okay.
Which wasn't as much as I really wanted.
That's okay. That's awesome.
Damage is better than no damage.
You
As I do this, I gather this flaming chromatic little orb of fire. I'll shoot it out of Mogrush, and I'll be like, leave Bar alone.
as your voice gently echoes through as this stutter that Theron, you have no idea happened, as you appear and you launch this chromatic orb towards Mogrush, and it just impacts and lashes up towards his face. You just hear and you see his head begin to twitch again, and the veins in his neck begin to pulse bright crimson through the light green skin. The blood
then
begins to
also I
drip down
say-
the sword.
Oh, God. Sorry. And then I also say, Bar, my friend.
As Mogrush hears that and turns to you.
You dead.
Not yet, ain't.
And you do see all the veins in his neck and the blood on the sword begin to glow and drip along the blade, staring locked towards you, Theron.
Yeah, that's fine. What's new?
He's going to use one legendary action
Oh, I'm sure he is.
as Tara. I'd say you're just able to see this as he reaches just under his breastplate, just to the bottom side of the waist, and you see him just like rummage with something before you see him and just disappear.
Hey, what's disappeared?
Mogrush.
Oh, you're joking.
Before
He's done the disappearing app, basically.
and you see him appear
Oh, okay.
atop the walkway right next to you, Theron,
Dead.
and he's going to use the other two legendary actions on his turn to make a vengeful influence.
No, he's already used two. Oh, every reverse time, and that's why that's happened.
Rayloff,
Sorry.
like before. Didn't he use 2 on Rayloff before the goblins?
Yeah, but
used
there's been also some kind of time reversal, so
for
you
the-
could
on the
fudge it
goblins
that way.
turn. Yeah. Fair play.
Well, it was
Oh,
nice knowing
Do
Theron.
whatever. Yeah.
So
Go on.
first three.
If
the
it's
multi
over
attack.
11, which it will be,
Okay. Yeah, two.
no, two's a fail.
No. I was going to say two 24s to hit, and a 123 to hit.
Okay. I'll use. Oh, actually, I can use shield. Does that last for?
That's the
What's
reaction.
That only
left
gives you
for-
plus
Does,
5.
it won't,
But that does. I think that lasts for your for this for your turn, doesn't it?
Turn, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Mm.
So if you were to use it now, then you do have it up for this entire multi-attack legendary action.
Okay, how many 24s did you just roll?
2. 2 24s and 1 23.
Okay, I'll use Chronal Shift twice then.
Get him to re-roll them.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got a 23. Remember that is your reaction, so you can't do shield in this instance.
Yeah, because you would have hit me anyway, so... Cool.
The first one re-rolled is a natural 1.
Sounds.
And the second is a non-natural 20.
So 2 hits instead of 3.
Yeah.
We'll take.
Okay. Yeah.
And then
nothing.
so it's 2. So it's 2 hits, and then the other 3 attacks.
Oh shit.
24, 16, and a natural 1.
No.
So it's
So
4 hits. Okay.
And just before he starts pounding away at me,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, hey, you've got beautiful eyes. I've got beautiful eyes. Isn't there any way we can? And then you just start attacking
Yeah.
me.
As you're trying to like negotiate in this moment, as he just appears out of nowhere behind you, as you turn, and as you begin trying to swoon him, you instantly see like he's almost understanding. Before you see the veins pulse even more, and he's just going to go into this frenzy. So 4 attacks.
And I'm probably dead. See you later, folks.
First one is a 16 points of slashing damage.
I'm joking.
No.
Okay.
16.
16. Yeah.
The other is another 16 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so that's 20, 32.
The other is 11 points of slashing damage. And the last hit
23.
is...
I think I'm dead by then, aren't I? Because I've got 42 hit points.
He's just taken 43 damage.
Alright. So, Theron, as you try and swoon him, and Mogrush goes into this frenzy, you instantly, as the pain begins to sear around your body, you... and on the third... Oh, sorry, probably... But yeah, on the 5th hit, as a couple of just barely missed, as you cast Chronal Shift for the first small portion, and you see, as Mogrush went to attack, you see his blades just, as it was going straight for your head, it just went out and fell wide into the ground. As he picks it back up and goes, you feel yourself slam down to the ground and in and out of consciousness, and you see Mogrush look to you, Gerald, just as you see between you two, Gerald, you see Theron fall between you, and you just see his sword as he licks the blade.
And as I'm fall... Oh, God. No,
go on.
And as I'm falling, I just want like, Bar, I love you.
And as Theron says that, you see Mogrush... as Theron says that to Bar, Mogrush just licks the blade. And that, using the last attack, you just see him just slam the blade into Theron's unconscious body, catching the fish hook into...
Isn't that... Oh, God.
You still have one more attack after
No.
knocked you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that means
As
instantly on like one death saving.
As he hooks in to Theron's sternum and just twists it out with a slight crack. And you see the veins dull down once more as all the blood from Theron begins to soak up into the blade and into the handle, leaving it pristine and clean. Theron, you are currently on 2 death fails.
No shit.
Oh.
Do I have to do one now?
No. It'll be at the start of your next turn. So, with all that done, Gerald, you're up.
That was a shit ton of
What would
damage.
you like to do? Yeah.
Yeah, and I had 2 of those.
Yeah.
Did. clarify, did have two of us.
So,
Yeah.
Gerald, what are you doing with Rayloff on deck?
What
and
do
Ra-
I have all these allies for if all they do is fall to the floor? Come on now, rise up, rise up! And I will cast, what's it called? Mass Healing Word again.
Okay.
Targeting Theron with 1, Bar with 2, and Rayloff could take the other 3.
Okay.
Where's the other guy? The enemy? No, where is he?
Opposite, on your right.
Oh, so he's just going to tap me again if I'm awake. Yeah.
It
Okay.
doesn't matter. You've got 10 hit points back. Bar can take 15 points back.
Nice.
And Rayloff. Oh, nice. 18, 21, 22, 26 points back to you, Rayloff.
Fuck yeah.
And then coming back a bit, he'll give himself like a 15-foot run up. Gerald's now going to sprint past Theron because he's on the floor.
Yeah.
Basically step over him, and then he's going to use his action to try and shove Mogrush off to the left.
Okay.
Off the bridge.
Roll a unarmed strike for me.
Yeah.
Out of interest, DM, how many legendary actions has Dickhead used?
We don't know.
6, isn't it?
Dickhead has used
Well-
on this
Well,
round.
well
Has used
we
3.
we did have time reversal, so you can't fudge
Yeah.
it with that.
So he's used 3 this round.
3.
Yeah.
So-
Use 2
so-
to
and
counteract
how-
my hit twice.
And even dragons, only have like what 3 or 4 or something.
They're 5, if I remember correctly, or 3.
Depends on the dragon.
Anyway.
Natural 20 to fucking
Nice.
Whoa.
Natural 20. Okay. In this space for the shove, I want you to make as it does connect and you do grab a hold of him to shove. I want you to make a either athletics or strength check, as he's going to attempt to roll acrobatics just to see how much of a shove you can get off. 14 for his acrobatics.
17.
Fuck me.
I will never do those 2 strength rolls again. That is it.
Gerald, you leap and flip over Theron. As Theron, you become conscious, and Rayloff, you also just take a deep breath. And as you do, Theron, you look to your left as you're gaining the vision, coming clear now, and you see Gerald just dig his feet into this wooden walkway and just put his hands on Mogrush, and he just shoves almost
Thank God.
in just a brief second of what the fuck is going on, as you see Mogrush and he's going to
Gonna
fall
happen to a
down.
nicer guy.
He's going to so I'll move you. He's going to fall down 50 feet.
And how much damage is that, DM?
I will roll it.
5d6.
It's 5d6. So that is
All ones. No, joking.
6,
All 6s.
12, 15 points of fall damage.
He'll take. Better than what I probably would have dished out normally.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, Gerald, you watch this large, as you are small yourself, this easily, 6'4", 6'5" orc, you just shove off at the thighs, and you do see him like almost prepare and get ready, but you catch one of his legs slightly buckling as his foot is just on the edge as you focus on that leg and you push, and you just watch the orc and
Give him a brief little wave as he goes down.
Theron nods at that and just like,
In approval.
That is my turn. I've used everything.
that's awesome. That's amazing. Rayloff, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'm guessing our rage would have gone off, wouldn't it? Because I went
Yeah, because
unconscious.
you went unconscious.
Yeah.
Both rage again.
For the grapple attack action.
Mm-hmm.
Can I use that to grapple his weapon away? At all?
Do you have to get up first?
Yeah, because you're.
Actually, there's no rule on that.
There's
It
no
says you have to be within 5 foot.
yeah, there's no rule on grappling a weapon to disarm them. I guess we just have to see what the scenario is when it comes to it, because there are classes that can disarm,
Yeah.
and that's its own thing. So if it is unique to that class and that subclass, I'd just say you can try to grapple him, but not grapple and take the weapon away, depending on how you go about it. If it's completely plausible, and then I'll rule it as it goes.
Yeah.
Because it's very niche that you're asking me for, is a certain role to disarm someone, when that's a feature of other classes and stuff.
What I was thinking was, if I was behind him, sort of wrap his arms around his neck and push onto the ground.
I mean, that's a
that would
grapple,
be-
yeah. That's just a grapple,
Yeah.
yeah.
He is
Could
over
be.
here, like.
Yeah. Am I prone at the minute?
You are. So it's half movement to stand up.
Right. Sorry then. Would it take an action for me to pick up the scimitar?
I'd say bonus.
Question.
Right,
Could
okay.
you not just command it to move?
Once it's inactive, you need to grab it in the command word and
To
throw
throw
it
it
out.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, that's me not knowing.
I think so anyway. That's what I read into the
Yeah,
item.
cool. No worries.
What's the
Right.
initiative order? Out of interest, sorry.
This is a new
Reel
round now.
Reeloff, Tara, Bar, Mogrush, Goblins, you, then Generals.
Okay, so I'm second to last. Okay.
Realaf, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna bonus action rage.
Okay.
Sexy.
You get up and you just instantly, and you just see the eyes just fly out again.
I'm gonna use my halberd and I'm gonna do a double attack into this goblin.
Which one?
The goblin next to me.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead. Go for it. Roll for those 2 attacks.
Okay. First one was a natural one,
Natural
and the
roll.
second was 24.
24 does hit, so roll damage for that second one.
So that's 12 slashing damage.
12 slashing damage. Okay. As you take your halberd and you wide swing, you see the goblin below you. You're just about a foot too high from his head. And as he screams out slightly, you come back. And you cleanly just take the head from his shoulders.
Nice.
Nice.
As he stays standing in this screaming pose before, and the head just rolls on the ground, leaving the body to drop into the dusty stone floor below, lifeless and dead. And you take a second to look around and you see everyone just struggling, but trying to deal with this immediate threat of Mogrush. People barely on their feet. And just as Terra, is there anything else you want to do?
I'll move to the sword. 'Cause it's only 15
Yeah.
feet.
No problem.
And I'll shout out in. No, I'll just shout out in common. Separator's sword. Just shout it out to everyone.
Alright. And as Raylof's booming command echoes around all of you, through the panting and the blood pumping in your ears, And just as you look around to see what threats still lay ahead.
Oh, I know what threats. He's right in front of me.
Yeah. As Tyra,
Probably going to have me off
Talk
again.
about me.
as Terra is, as you just are about to move and act, that's where we're going to take a quick break and come back in just a short while to pick up from there and see if the party can survive Mogrush, the Defiler. Be back in just a little while. Okay, as we come back into the game, the party had, as all of the Companions of Fate continued their fight against Mogrush the Defiler and his minions that surround him. Bar enlarged and standing as a titan above everyone else. As Mogrush began to act, you quickly noticed a flurry, not from his own form, but the sword that he wielded almost leading him, leading his attacks and strikes, and fueling off of the anger of vengeance towards just any one of you that decides to stand up. Through the fight, as all of you began to cast spells, hurl axes and javelins, and drop the goblins around you, your attention is now quickly turning to Mogrush as he continues this onslaught, already downing Rayloff and Theron before Gerald healed. And just before Theron did drop, time almost stood still and slightly stuttered back, only a few moments before the sparks of arcane appeared and Theron had been willed into existence. And just as Gerald bore his legs and stuck his feet down into the hardwood walkway and pushed against Mogrush's thighs, finding just a slight little weakness in one foot, you launched him off. And as he fell, hitting the ground with a solid thud, all of you take a quick breath to assess the situation and what to do next. And Tara, you find Mogrush down on the ground below you, Bar weak and bloody, and all of your allies slowly coming to terms with what is to happen. This is where we pick it up. So, Tara, you are up. What would you like to do?
I would like to fly 10 foot away from Mogrush.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Thorn Whip towards his weapon and try to pull it out of his hand, and if successful, try to grab it.
Okay. Okay, so this is like a layered thing, right?
I'm using my movements for my...
Yes. You're using Thorn Whip on his weapon, and if successful, taking the weapon, you want to grab
pull
it.
To me, and if successful, I'll try to grab it, because it'll pull
so,
its 10 foot
because this is
this
is a very niche situation where you're calling to attack the weapon and not a creature.
Yeah.
The DC is going to be pretty high.
Higher.
Or higher.
Not a problem.
So
okay.
Roll an attack with Thorn Whip.
Will do.
Natural 20.
No.
What?
Natural
No.
20.
No. Okay.
Take a pic.
I can take a photo if you like.
Yeah, take a picture of that shit.
Yeah. Photo. Camera shot's gonna be pretty shit, but
That's okay. What's the total of that attack?
27.
What? That's what we needed.
General chart.
So I want you to roll the Thorn Whip damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, break the sword. That's also an opposite thing.
Okay, it's just that.
Yeah. Alright, so roll the Thorn Whip damage.
6 and a 5, 11.
11 points of damage to Mogrush.
What is that 20, Mike?
What, sorry?
That's what I was thinking.
It's
That's
staggered.
It's a natural 20 to try to hit, but I get +7 for my...
No, he's on about the symbol.
No.
The die.
On the die that you've posted.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, it's a
it's,
natural 20. Doesn't even say 20.
Yeah, it's...
Could be a 1.
What's it called now?
Is it a tankard? The grog set?
No, it's the...
Keyleth.
So, Keyleth
Keyleth set, yeah, so it's a
antlers.
deer with its antlers. Yeah.
There it is, antlers. I was trying to figure out what that was.
So Tara, you
Yeah.
whip the thorn down, and as the vine just whirls out and latches around the sword. You see around the hand and the wrist of Mogrush as well, as the thorns just spike into him, and you hear as he grips on. You do manage to wrap the thorn whip around the sword.
Fantastic.
As you pull back, I want you to make a spellcasting check for me. So basically, roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier for me. And he is going to roll a strength check just to see if he can hold on. That
he
is
just falls 10 foot anyway if he succeeds.
That is a 19 for him.
I got also a 19 with my +4. I got a 19.
Oh, it's another roll-off.
Reroll, yeah.
Reroll.
We got ourselves an old-fashioned roll-off.
I get inspiration
natural 20.
points.
Not rail-off.
16
Roll-off.
+4.
I'm not even kidding you. Non-natural 20, 17 plus 3.
Okay.
The
Last
door.
roll.
Okay, last roll. Let's finish this.
Either that or you both succeed.
Non-natural
somehow.
20 again.
21.
Yes.
17 +4.
You,
What a chat.
through a weird moment of distress and a tug of war that seems unbinding, as Mogrush,
Don't take the
as the vine just curls, letting go of his hand, wrapping around the base of the blade and the hilt of the handle. As you, and as you do, the sword comes free and out of his hand. I want you to make a dex check with advantage for me, or a dex saving throw for me, just to see if you're quick enough to catch the blade.
18 with my +2.
Easily enough. As the blade comes out of his grip, and you hurl it back with your thorn whip, as the vine just dissipates into nothing, your hand is replaced by this short sword. It's fairly hefty, a thick blade, slightly curved with that fish hook. And you have Mogrush's weapon.
Holler at him.
I'll point it and laugh with the sword pointing at him.
And he just begins snarling towards you.
And that's all I can do.
Would I be able to say something at this point? Or...
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just say, throw it in the abyss.
And
No,
you hear Rayloff
I
scream that.
won't be able to do anything anyway.
It is now Bar's turn, as Bar... and he turns round, seeing you, Terra, in the air with a Mogrush's blade.
No hurting anymore.
And he's going to slam down twice as the colossal titan form turns around and stomps over to Mogrush, and he's going to make 2 attacks. The first one is a 22 to hit, and the second one misses with a 10. So that gives him... Nice! So that's 10 bludgeoning damage to Mogrush. He is beginning as the club comes down first, and all you hear is against the stone, and you hear just a slight
Try again.
as the club comes up, and you just hear Bar.
Okay.
And slamming down, you hear the crunch of bones, and you hear a slight muffled laugh just grunt into a silence as he gets pummeled down into the ground. Club coming back off by the side as Bar is going to look down towards Mogrush, and he's going to slam his club to the side and begin and just roar, and you see all the spittle and blood begin to spurt down in like a rain towards Mogrush, and he's going to make a wisdom saving throw against the intimidating presence, which he fucking fails with a 9. He is now frightened of Bar.
Ooh.
And any attacks
Oh,
against
this is
him
turned. This is
has
turned, aren't it,
disadvantage.
DM?
Yeah.
Fuck you. Okay, that's going to
Looks
be
like I
Bar's
went
turn.
after you slow.
Alright, Mogrush
Hold
is
a
up.
rain check on that.
Mogrush immediately, at first, looks to you, Tara, as he's just like regaling from this hit from Bar and the huge stone club and the anchors as the chains come back up and the anchors just slam down to the ground. You see Mogrush.
That's mine!
And he's going to grab both hand axes and he's going to launch both of them towards you.
Okay.
Is that a legendary action or not a legendary action?
That's just his normal thing.
Just his
Yeah.
his action. As that is a 18 to hit for the first.
It's,
And then the second one is another. Oh, sorry, no, is a non-natural 20.
it both hits.
Uh,
I'll roll for my concentration because I know I'm
Yeah.
going to take damage.
okay, so the first one,
First
You-
one's a natural 20.
nice.
Second one's a. With my con, it's 19.
Okay,
So, the
so
largest.
yeah, so you'll be good. You take 8 points of slashing damage from the first axe,
Yeah.
and you take 7 points of slashing damage from the second. And then Mogrush.
Crime inside light bulb.
Mogrush is going to use one legendary action as he... let's have a look, actually.
I thought the joke's on Mogrush. He's just giving all of his weapons to Tara now. Just
Mm-hmm.
an idiot.
As Mogrush just yells out,
Shut up! Fight!
as a couple of the goblins around him and just begin to be empowered almost. Mogrush is then going to attempt to flee over here into what you see as a dead end of the cavern, and you see him try to run as far away from Bar as possible. As he does, Bar is going to take the anchors, one of the anchors on the club, and just throw and hurl it towards Bar as a attack of opportunity as he leaves his range. That is a 15. That doesn't hit. As he and you see the anchor into the stonework, kind of clattering into dust and stone behind Mogrush's heels as he and he just runs away, and you see him kind of and he's just like almost clawing at the stone wall. That is Mogrush's turn done. Yeah, the goblin's next. This top goblin, this other goblin is going to dash up or get up to here, and the goblin is going to launch a javelin towards you, Theron, and the crossbow javelin here is going to launch 2 bolts towards Gerald.
Yeah.
So the javelin for you, Theron, as the goblin clatters up and launches it towards you, that is a 8 to hit.
Nope.
As it just
Not much more to hit. But
Yeah.
no,
As it just-
doesn't it?
past you and just clatters down. The 2 bolts for you, Gerald. The first one is a 19 and the second one is a 7.
Misses the second.
Okay, so the bolt that hits, fuck me, 2 points of piercing damage.
Yeah, we like those damage rolls.
As it just into your shin, you're like, bitch.
Ow!
That was my good chin.
Let's have a look. The other goblin on the far side and crossbow is going to make an attack, 2 bolts against you, Tara, from distance.
Mhm.
Both 10s, so both 11 to hit.
Both miss. Both
Alright.
miss. I'll take it.
And how far are you off the ground, Tara? You're still... you'd be 10 foot off, wouldn't you?
away now, yeah.
Okay.
because he would have been on the-
This goblin then, in that case, and that goblin are both going to launch javelins at you, because they cannot reach you whatsoever.
problem.
One's an
Shit myself.
one's an 11, one's a 4.
Both of them.
My fucking rolls have gone to shit now. As both just sail past you and you
Yeah.
just float from
So
side to
it's
side.
catching
Just give the
us.
bob and weave.
Yeah.
That is the goblins' turns. Theron, you're up. What would you like to do?
Ooh, let's have a look at me spelly wells. Is this the goblin boss?
That's the orc Mogrush, the Defiler.
Okay, let's stick on theme. Now, do a cast slow on him. Now that he hasn't got his sword.
If you want to know what a 40-foot cube looks like, that goes all the way across past there, and yeah, if you set it on Mogrush, you could actually cover all 3 of those goblins in a single cube from there.
Listen to this
Oh,
guy
you want it.
metagaming. Do what I say,
like-
bitch.
I'll let you know what a 40-foot cube looks like. I'm not telling you what to do.
Yes.
Yeah, go on
I'm not
then.
telling you what to do. I'm just suggesting you the best plan of action.
Go on. I've already pressed cast. Yeah, I'll cast slow on those said goblins.
Alright, do you want to describe what the spell looks like for everyone else to see?
Yeah. Basically, as I cast the spell, as goblins and Mogrush are moving about, all you see is like time dilation, and then just them slow down. It's like.
And you notice the clawing that is almost impatient begins to and the goblins also and they are slowed as well. Awesome. Sorry, they need to make saves, don't they?
Wisdom saving throw.
Okay, so for the 2 goblins,
Yeah.
oh fuck, that rolled high. One's an 18 and one's a 17 to save.
Yeah,
for the
yeah, that's
goblins.
fine. DC of 15.
Okay. Mogrush.
Fails. Yes!
5.
Score.
The one fucker that we needed to fail.
And you see Mogrush begin his panting and his clawing at the wall slows down dramatically. The spell takes hold of Mogrush, but leaving the 2 goblins unaffected. Is there anything else you want to do on your turn, Theron?
Where am I? How much movement I've got? Is it 30 or something? Yeah. I would like. Can I move like over here without opportunity?
Yeah, he's 50
Yeah,
feet down.
50 foot up.
Yeah, you're 50 feet above him right now.
Oh, 50 feet above him?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on a bridge.
Oh, yeah then. 5, 10, 15. That. Alright, Sam.
Awesome.
That.
Alright. Gerald, you are up with Rayloff on deck. What would you like to do?
Can I quickly ask the logistics of what happens if I were to just drop a dagger at him? Does that add anything to it, or does that count as a dagger attack?
I'd say it counts as attack, and I'd get you to roll a percentile, see if it hits dagger blade side first or handle.
Thank you. I just wanted to know that information.
Okay.
And what we're actually going to do is cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay. All right.
Just going to start it off with just, why so slow? And that'll be my taunt to him.
All right. So that's a
He
wisdom
must make
save.
Wisdom saving throw, please.
6.
You say 6?
6.
Nice. Okay, I rolled 2 1s on part of my damage die, so that's helpful for him.
Nice.
That's 7 psychic damage, and he must move as far away from me as possible, but he can't get any further
Yeah.
away. So
And he can only move half movement.
7.
All right, thank you.
Question: is there just a solid wall on this last side? Am I just being stupid, or is there is more? It's just not relevant to this map.
It is just a dead wall.
Okay.
Just a dead end stone wall.
So he's
You
trapped
cap it
in
all
one
off.
corner.
He is trapped.
Awesome.
And he's fearful of bars, so he can't move away.
Can we
Well,
not
he's-
cause a rock slide?
Well,
I think we could.
Gerald, is there anything else you want to do on your turn?
I want to give Bardic Inspiration to Bar. No, actually, not Bar. I'll give it to Rayloff, because Rayloff wants some inspiration. Cat's in the corner. We've got him on the ropes. And that will be your
Right.
Bardic Inspiration.
Was it a D8 now?
D8.
Yeah, I take that D8, Rayloff, for your Bardic Inspiration. Yeah, Rayloff, you are up. What would you like to do? Beginning the initiative with Tara on deck.
So I'll use my bonus action to pick up the scimitar.
Alright.
Then I will carry it with me, and I will. Yeah. To go. Because I can't really get close enough to do it enough here. So yeah, I'll go for this goblin here.
Okay. Alright, go for it. Roll for attacks.
I'm gonna do a double slash into it.
Alright. Are you still raging or no?
Yeah, I'm still raging.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
Well, I re-raged if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I'm rolling. Oh yeah. 22 and an 18.
Both hit. Roll for damage.
Cool. So that's 8 slashing damage from the scimitar,
I like it. Okay.
and 7 damage from the hand axe. Not getting good rolls today.
You
Damage is damage.
Apart from the natural 20s I got.
you carve down and then back up, and as you do, you cut one deep slit just into his sternum, and the other, as the hand axe comes up, you just clock the chin, and as you do, you just slice all the way up the throat and across the chin, breaking it in half as it you slam it up, and the goblin and just drops to the ground prone. You see its tongue just like snaking between the half of the broken jaw, now just and just dangling out, barely standing.
Well, I'm just going to ignore him then and just walk forwards 10 feet.
Okay. Alright. Tara, you're up. What would you like to do?
I am. I'm going to, while still in flight.
Does the sword not affect him in any way?
That's true. Is there anything happening while I have possession of said sword? I'm going to move to here, someone could just ping it.
Yep, got you.
He's still hovering 50 feet up.
10 foot up. And I'm going to pull this guy down.
Okay, roll for an attack for Thorn Whip.
Is this lower down here? This is...
Slightly, yeah. So this curls down, roughly another 10 feet.
17.
17 hits. Roll for thorn damage. I'll get the d6 ready.
This is like casting Fireball because it's 66.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
8 damage.
8 as you latch the thorn whip around him, and it goes around his shoulders and just a slight into his neck, and it just like the thorns just poke out and stab in. You just hear him
I told you.
as you pull forward.
Yeah.
As he falls, you just hear a distant. So that's 66. 4, 8, 11, 14, 18. Let's say 18 last in there.
18 last one.
23 points of fall damage. He drops to the ground with a slam down and just blood and bones as this goblin is launched off the side towards you, falling down into the precipice of hard stone and drawing its last breath to curl another cry as it falls.
And that ends my turn.
Right now, Bar
Another boots.
Bar is going to go up to the bridge, and you see him. He is going to reach under and don't run now. And he's going to crouch down and he's going to attempt to grapple Mogrush.
He does gain advantage if it's strength.
Well, it's just an attack right now to get the grapple.
Okay, not a problem. It just says advantage on strength checks or strength saving throws.
Okay. And that was
Also,
yeah.
It's a -2 to AC for Mogrush. Mogrush,
Yeah, well, it was he just got 2 above Mogrush's AC. Now with the -2, 4 above. So he does hit, and you see Bar just and he reaches through, and you hear Mogrush. And he just gets grabbed by one big meaty paw. And
You go get him, Bar.
And Bar like backs out slightly, holding Mogrush in his hand. No more fighting. And you just see him squeeze slightly. I'll just roll a strength check for the fuck of it with advantage. Natural 20.
Oh shit!
For the squeeze, I'm just because he's so strong. I'll just do it like a D6 with his strength.
Would it be plus a D4 with himself?
Fuck it. Let's add it. So it's at 6 damage plus what? 7 points
No, I'll
of
take it down.
7 points of squeeze damage. Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Yeah,
Wait,
you
does that
see
pop out?
you see Mogrush and just crying out as his body is just getting tighter and tighter and tighter as Bar squeezes in his hand. And that's the end of Bar's turn. Mogrush is going to use on his turn 2 legendary actions to make to use Vengeful Enforcement. So you're going to make 2 sets of multi attacks.
Who is?
Mogrush.
Would it be disadvantage of it
It
being
would be,
grappled?
yeah, against Bar. So
Anything happen with slow?
Oh
I
yeah.
only make one attack.
One attack and action.
Wow,
Just
one.
2 attacks.
Wow.
It's
So
one
we-
action of attack, yeah.
disadvantage, he got a 16 to hit, which hits Bar, and the second. He's 17. That also barely hits, or just hits.
There's only 2.
You notice as Mogrush reacts and goes to swing, you see his eyes constrict and you see his muscles tense in this fury, in this rage. But then as he brings his arm back, as if he had the blade, you'd see him. But you see and he's just going to make 2 punches, which do 3 points of bludgeoning damage each. So that is 6 points of bludgeoning damage against Bar.
We will take that. Well played, everyone.
Yeah, he's going to use his other legendary action
You can only use one
Call of the
action.
Herd. Sorry?
Nah, legendaries don't work like that.
Legendaries you can use whenever you want.
He's going
As long as it's after another person's turn, that's it.
he's going to use his bonus action for Call of the Herd as he begins to scream and wail.
And then it says regardless of creatures' abilities or magic items, his legendary action ability?
Legendary action is a legendary action.
Okay, okay. It's worth trying.
As he begins to wail out,
You were saying.
and you just hear him.
Don't stand around. Help me.
As he begins to wail out for help, and you see.
Them flame.
Nope. You don't. You just see
You're the one
the. You
next
just
to
see
him.
the goblins just. But the one next to him, you see. And you see him almost go into that frenzy. That's Mogrush's turn. The goblin right next to Bar. Yeah. He's going to attempt to. He's going to try and make an attack on Mogrush to try and grab his ankle. And make a grapple on Mogrush himself.
Question: would he then be 20-something foot high because Bars pulled him to his height?
That's a fair point. At what point has Bar pulled him up? I'd say he's at least a solid. No, I mean because Bar's 12 feet tall, 13 feet tall.
True, but now he's doubled, so now
Oh,
he's
he is doubled. Thank you.
5 foot.
So
Javelin.
But then you
Javelin.
don't hold him at top height, do you?
No.
If you just.
I'd
Yeah,
say
but if he here, wouldn't he?
I'd say he's a solid like 8-10 feet up or so.
Okay.
So I'm going to
Whatever
say
you say,
I'm going to say with
Javelin, I just
disadvantage the goblin's going to try and leap and grab onto Mogrush's ankle
That's it, not a problem.
with a 9. Doesn't even fucking go near his AC. So no.
Yeah. Lovely.
And the goblin just and just like makes a jump and like finds air. And you just kind of look up. You see Bar, and he just looks over. Turns his attention back to Mogrush. This goblin that is barely on his feet is going to launch a javelin towards you, Terra.
Yep.
That is a 13 to hit.
It does not hit.
As it just and you bob and weave again in the air as you just
You guys suck.
these two
Wouldn't have been if it was me.
this goblin is going to make 2 attacks against Bar, and this one is going to launch a javelin towards you, Gerald. So the javelin first. That is a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Right. So for the javelin, fuck. You take 3 points of piercing damage, and before I go wrong, the crossbow goblin is only going to be able to make 1 attack against Bar
Because of the slab.
because of the slow.
Sick.
It has an 11,
Good,
which just
good spell.
you see the arrow just and it just pierces into the back of Bar's elbow, but causes no damage or discomfort as he's just staring at Mogrush.
That was the hard skin.
This goblin is going to move up to you, Gerald, and this other goblin is going to move slightly onto the edge, while this one is going to get behind you, rail off, just barely crawl towards you as it's from the previous attack. Theron, you are up with Gerald on deck. What would you like to do?
Would like to do second level chromatic orb at Mogrush.
Okay. Roll. Is it? It's an attack roll, isn't it? It's not a.
Yeah.
Save.
17 plus 7.
Definitely. I'll say. Well, I would
24.
say roll with advantage because he is restrained. Just see if you get that 20 or not.
See if you get the crit.
Roll this one. Oh, you're not even going to believe this. Not even going to
Don't tell
believe this.
me.
Where's my phone?
Take the
Yeah.
photo.
Fuck
I'll-
me. I just thought to
I'm
be
not-
nice in the situation.
Yeah, nice one. I'll take it.
Of course you'll
I'll take the
fucking
crits.
take it.
Those lucky
That's fucking
20s there.
uncanny, yeah. All the 20s are coming out tonight, which, I mean, I'm fucking happy for it,
You
honestly.
can't say anything. You got 2 in a row on me.
No, I'm ecstatic about my 20s, but I'm thinking it's
Good.
fucking awesome that you guys are getting so many 20s as well. It's crit city this game.
I'm 1 for 1. I've got 121 and 1-1.
And
Yeah,
it'll
I've
be
got 120 and 1
Ooh,
1.
alright.
Actually, no, I've got two
it-
20s and 1 1.
it'd be 27
Yeah,
altogether.
that definitely hits. So roll
I'll
for
I'll,
damage.
I'll send it in the thing in a minute.
Yeah, no problem.
What's the actual thing? 4d8.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
so you roll
double.
4d8, double the
Yeah.
dice, then add your modifiers onto the damage, if any.
Which one's the 4 ones?
Pyramid.
Isn't it? Didn't you say it's a D8?
Yeah.
Oh, if they're d8, then they're the small little
Diamond
diamonds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 4d8s, not 8d4s.
I've got an 8,
Is someone counting this? All this is going to be
Yeah.
doubled.
2,
10.
8.
16 plus 4. That's
3,
50, 13. What am I about?
and a 7.
20, so 40.
40 points. Have you got any modifiers that go onto that? Like, does it say 4d8 plus? Or is it just 4d8?
No, 4d8. Just
Okay.
4d8.
40 points of damage.
Oh, what type?
Yeah, what type?
Oh, I didn't say. Let's go with acid again. No, acid. I'll go with acid.
Okay.
Fuck him.
As you
Let's melt him.
and you build up this ball of acid and you cascade it. All of you just hear as it cascades through the air and as it impacts with Mogrush, you just hear as you see part of his flesh and bones begin to dissolve with the acid, and his body slowly beginning to be eaten away. And just barely, as you see almost this entire chunk, the left arm, all the way down to his hip, is melted away, disappeared, dust and nothing. Blood
If anything,
pouring
you look
out.
better.
Blood pouring out at a rapid pace. He is barely hanging on in the grip of Bar as you see him begin to beginning to choke and go faint. That was a lot of fucking damage.
I'm sending the pick in a minute.
Alright. Gerald. Unless Theron, you want to move or do anything else on your turn.
No, I'm probably good.
Gerald, what would you like to do?
Oh. You conflicted me now with that description. Right.
I mean, if not, I've got a plan.
Freeze up.
I've got a plan if you don't want to do it.
Boy, just goes,
Get over here.
I definitely think here I'm going to look at the goblin in front of me.
Mhm.
Time for you to join your boss. And I'm going to also push him, or go attempt to push him
Okay,
off the edge.
roll an attack for me, unarmed strike.
Oh no. 13.
It does hit as you just
What?
and this goblin, about as small as you, maybe a bit smaller, you just off the edge. So he drops 50 feet. Actually, sorry, which way direction are you pushing him? Would you like to say?
I was gonna push him off.
Yeah.
Don't think it matters because isn't that just a sheer cliff face? So as angles work,
Yeah.
that doesn't exist underneath there.
Yeah. So, I'm just catching it for flavour. So that is going to be 5d6. Fuck, and I roll high
If
on
we're
this
doing
one
that,
as well.
I'll go right and throw him near the corner
Yeah.
that his boss got
Okay.
trapped in.
All
If
right.
we're doing that for
Yep,
flavour.
that's okay. 5, 9, 12, and 12, 18, 21 damage. He is gone. As you, well, I mean, how would you like to throw him?
I do want that time for you to join your, and I'm just going to push him, and I just want that basically the capture of surprise as I then wave at him as he then tips back.
As
falls.
as you push him, he's like, and almost in slow mo, you just see him hurling through the air, and as you just wave,
Is he waving back?
you just see him. Before you just see a rock and just plough the back of his head as the head itself just crumbles and is just almost blows up in a sense, with blood just smashing around the back of the stone and his body just limp against the ground.
My allies don't need inspiring. They're pretty good for the moment. We'll watch on from now on.
Okay.
Still got the D8 after the inspiration.
Let's have
You
a
do.
look. So as you, Gerald. Okay, Rayloff, you are up. Start of the round. What would you like to do?
Cool. So I'm going to start making my way towards here.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Oh, wait. It's only 20 feet. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. More than enough. Not a problem. Yeah, I'll just head to I'll start heading there.
Mm-hmm.
And on the way, I'm going to... So I'm just going to be walking forwards, just...
Alright. You're getting past two of the goblins. They're both going to make attack of opportunities.
It would only be the one. Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, it would be there. There, yeah.
Ignore me, yeah, it'll be the one then.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay.
Does it stop me, or...?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have sentinel or anything.
Awesome. That's all I cared about.
That is 7 points of piercing damage.
Cool,
Or
so
as he
reduced to
just
3.
Yeah.
I was just
Cool.
going to shout something out, but
Halfway
Rayloff already responded too quick. He responded
sorry.
too quick. It's alright. It's fine.
So as I'm going past, I'm going to throw the scimitar back, and I'm going to say against Skewer, and it's just going to attack him as my bonus action.
Alright. Well, roll to attack for the scimitar then for me. Alright.
Amazing.
24 to hit.
24 definitely hits. So I'm just going to say, how do you want to do this?
Thank God, because I rolled a 1. Yeah, so as I'm walking, he hits the back of me foot, and I'll just keep walking, just ignoring, just completely cold, just throw it back, and it's just going to go straight through his neck.
Nice.
Go straight into his neck and just pull out.
As you just launch, and the scimitar just... and it just levels up slowly with Mogrush's neck, and the gargling is silenced as the blade just sticks through the neck, leaving Mogrush the Defiler half burned away.
Sorry, no, that was to this one behind me. I'm going towards Mogrush.
Okay, sorry.
You are joking.
My bad.
That's what I was
Sorry.
very confused about.
Yeah, sorry. I just.
However, we
I
know
didn't
how
know
many hit points he has now.
But
Right.
yeah,
Very
that
well.
I
goblin.
can tell you
is-
what I want to do.
Go on, that goblin is just.
'Cause
As
I'm
you throw
going-
it back, it just slices the goblin. Just carve it down.
Oh, I want something special for this bastard.
Alright, go for it.
Right. As I'm walking, he's just gonna see me putting my hand axe away and just as I'm just walking towards him with my halberd. So standing underneath him, I'm just going to leap up and just slam the halberd to the back at him.
Alright,
It's
so
an attack.
roll for attack for me. With advantage, because he is currently restrained.
Got two twos.
Oh, no.
Say
First
natural
one was a
20.
2.
Say natural 20. Say natural 20.
It's a natural 20.
Nice, nice. Okay, roll that damage then.
So
We've got all the 20s.
wasn't even that good of a roll. So that's 4.
Dice doubled.
That's 10 slashing damage.
Right,
And
well,
I've still got another
okay.
attack.
At this
If
point,
I
then,
need it.
how do you want to do this? For the right target this time.
Right, so...
Just
basically,
remember, Theron helped.
what I would like to do then is, as I'm walking towards him, Bar is going to throw him up. And as I go up towards him, and I'm going to say to him in Draconic, your time ends now. I'm just going to jump up and just going to cleave it straight through. As his body falls like that, just going to cleave clean through his body.
Nice. And you just hurl the halberd, and it just...
Sorry, yeah.
Sorry. So,
Yeah, that wasn't seen.
yeah. So, yeah, you hurl and slice Mogrush as the legs just fall from the half of the torso that is now being held by Bar, as he just... You see a small grey pouch just flirt off of his belt, landing just a couple feet from the legs. And Bard quickly looks at you, Rayloff. My turn. As he's just holding the dead, lifeless torso.
Or just drop him.
I'm going to say to him, just in giant, no mercy here.
And you just see Bar just crunch the bones and the body in between his fingers as the body of Mogrush just and seeps out between the gaps in his fingers.
Yeah.
Juicy.
I'm going to, once that's happened, I'm going to turn around to the other goblin. What's his reaction right now?
You see the goblin straight away. And he's going to try and flee. And
Would
run away.
still be my turn.
Sorry, yes. Because, well, you got
I still have an
haven't you?
attack.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was asking
Yeah,
what his
he is
reaction is.
terrified and ready to flee.
Yeah. I'm going to go for an attack, but at the last second, it's going to stop right by his neck.
Yeah.
So anyone who's close enough to see, so I imagine Bar would probably see it, maybe Tara, possibly.
Definitely.
Sort of see, sort of very fighting instincts to attack, and he's just gonna move as that, just gonna drop, not drop the weapon, but sort of drop. And it's just gonna lean to him, and just in his ear say, "We give mercy, you don't." I'm just gonna push him away.
As you push the small goblin form. And he's going to look to attempt to crawl away and sprint.
I'm not gonna stop him.
You quickly hear the other goblin begin to chatter.
Do not kill him.
And you see him also turn and begin to run away.
Could we hear him from?
You heard
Such
him.
distance.
You heard it screaming over or like muttering to itself. What are you doing? Fine.
Okay.
And they both begin to try and run and wait. Is anyone stopping them?
I won't stop it.
Oh, can I make an attempt at least?
Yeah, if you want to. As combat is
Um,
coming to a
Where,
close.
where are the goblins? Over here?
One
there
over
and
here,
one over
then
there.
one over by bar is going to run.
Yeah, I can't reach up to that one anyway. How far is it to this one?
25 to that one on the right, 45 to the one below.
I'll head towards this one.
Alright, what are you going to do?
I'll just go in front of him and I'll just be like, hey, hey, hey. Before we let you go, have you got any information that we might be able to use?
And he's going to try and make a short sword attack against you.
Okay,
14.
I'll use a reaction to use shield.
Okay.
And then I will use my reaction then to hit him with Santo after he's done
Okay.
the attack.
Okay.
Lee, he
Roll
followed
for
your
it.
instructions to the
One
letter.
Roll for
You
it.
said that you
Roll
give mercy and he doesn't, and he didn't give mercy.
Roll for your attack. For Santo.
He was true to him.
I gave him one chance. I gave him one
You
chance.
did give him a chance.
All I was
Doesn't
after
matter, because I got rolled a natural one.
Nice. As you
No, you didn't. Because you're going to be inspired. I'm going to use my inspiration dice and you're going to fucking
Alright.
dick him down.
14. Wait,
Good.
actually, does it hit? Okay, I can't ask that, can I? You know what? Just for the sake of using it, I'm just going to use the D8.
okay.
Good idea.
Juicy.
Because otherwise, I'll just not end up using it. So I may as well use it. And I rolled the 8 as well.
Nice.
Even better.
22.
Well, it does definitely hit, so roll the damage for me.
Nice.
So that's...
Is it lethal or non-lethal?
Oh, that was a solid question.
No, you don't give second chances.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 just lethal. Let's be
No.
honest.
Yeah.
You show no mercy.
Yeah,
You showed mercy.
I gave
now
him a
you show
chance.
no
So
mercy.
I will,
Yeah, you did.
I will ask you then, Raylov, as the other goblin sprints away and tucks away into a small crawl space that quickly leaves everyone's vision, and this other one attempts to attack Theron, and just as in retaliation, you slam down. How would you like to do it for this little
Whoa.
goblin?
Oh, that sounded a bit more salacious than usual.
How do you want to shove? How far do you want to shove your fist into his anus?
Ripping from the inside.
Yes. Fucked.
As I see him going for that, I'm going to parry his sword with my halberd. I'm going to knock it up into the air. I'm just going to grab him by the throat. I'm going to rush over to the abyss.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to throw him in.
You see Raylov scoop the goblin up
Sparta.
as he just launches,
But
and he just sprints
I'm
over.
going to hold him up above the abyss. Just stare him at me. You had a chance. I'm just going to let go.
As you just let go, and you just see
Just random out of content question. How deep? How sound deepful did it sound like?
I'll
If we
say
had
your
to
past
guess.
perception,
deepful.
best guess how deep the precipice sounded.
Yeah.
Upwards of like 200 feet.
Fucking hell. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. No worries.
And
Theron jumps in. No, I'm joking.
That is overkill.
as the combat has come to an end, and you all find Mogrush, the Defiler, beaten and bloody, half of his torso burned away, and the rest squished between the palm of Bar.
Can I search him?
Yes. Rayloff launching the last goblin survivor off into the abyss of nothing to meet his fate. That's where we're going to end tonight's episode and come back next week to pick it up right there.
So,
And yes, Theron, you can search, and
yeah.
we'll pick all that up next
So I
week.
don't forget then.
Yeah,
I'd like to gather the javelin that I threw
no problem. Yeah.
before I forget.
Right. Well, note down
Nice to
what
look at
everyone
the-
wants to
the
do.
bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then make sure you mention it when we come back next week. But with all that said, thank you very much for watching. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you next time.